Hi everyone, I'm Miss Kiana and today I am back with another video. So, we know that a lot of children are transitioning into middle school and high school, and it can be a really big challenge. So today we are going to talk all about middle school students and give you and your families a few tips on how you can transition in a smooth way into middle school. So before we get right into it, it's important that we talk about the developmental changes that are happening at this age. So normally around middle school, you're normally 9 to maybe 11 or 12 years old. And there are a lot of changes that are taking place for girls. Your body is changing. If you haven't already, you are going into puberty and you are just really trying to figure yourselves out. And even the same thing for guys. You are probably starting to grow facial hairs and you're starting to recognize some things about yourself that you probably didn't recognize before. So it's important that as we talk about these tips for you and your family, give yourselves a little bit of leeway, meaning give yourself some time to grow. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Remember, this is a critical point in your life. Yes, it may feel as though everybody is judging you, but at the same time, we have all been here before, so we understand, we get it, and just understand and study yourself, do some research if you have to, but just learn who you really are, and what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable. And then probably the transition into middle school will be a little bit more of a breeze because then you have a foundation of who you are. So let's get right into these tips. The first tips are specifically for middle school students. The first one is to be your own advocate. An advocate is someone who publicly supports a cause or a policy. Think about that cause as yourself. So be your own advocate. Stand up for yourself. If you have a question about something, if you want to know something, make sure that you are asking and that you are seeking help. Nobody is ever going to advocate for you and support you the way you can support yourselves. So that would be the first tip, is to be your own advocate. The second tip is to use your agenda, your planner, whatever it is that your school gives you to help you stay organized. Even if your school doesn't give you an agenda or a planner, which most middle schools do, take it upon yourselves to even just use a tablet if that's all you have, or somewhere where you know that you can always see it so that you can write out your schedules and your homework and whatever else that you know that you have to do, whether it's for school or whether it's just for your personal life. But always stay organized. You are coming from elementary school, which is an environment where you stay in maybe 1 or 2 classrooms. But in middle school, you will be going from 6 to 8 classrooms a day. And you want to make sure that you are staying as organized as possible. The third tip I'm going to give you is to redefine yourself. So as we talked about, you are transitioning into a very critical time in your life. So take this time to figure out new styles of clothing that you may enjoy, new styles of writing, new hobbies, new subjects that you may be interested in. Take this time to really try to figure out who you are as a person, what sports do you want to play, whatever it is that works best for you. The last tip I'm going to give you is to get to know your school. Not only your school, but your counselors, your principals, your teachers. They are there to support you in whatever it is that you may need. So get to know the people around your school that could possibly help you when you need help or just be of an assistance to you. Besides, you're going to be at this school for 2 to 3 years. So you might as well get to know the things around you to make the transition and the experience a little bit better for you. The next set of tips that I'm going to give you are specifically for parents and families. So, as we talked about, during this time, your teens, or tweens as they may call them, are growing and they are changing into little young adults. And so here are 4 tips that can help you to help them during this transition process. So the first tip is to give your children a little bit of independence. This means don't bring their lunch to school if they forget it, or maybe even not bring an assignment to school if they forget the assignment at home. This is not to make your children feel bad. It's just to show them that you have to be responsible and you have to work for the things that you want. So give them a little bit of leeway. Help them to be responsible and to be little adults that can function in a society one day. The next tip that I'm going to give you is to check your children's agendas on a daily basis. Although we want to give our children a little bit of independence during this time, we also want to make sure that we are remaining their accountability partners. Which brings me into tip number 3. Make sure that you are aware of your children's technology. We know that a lot of children have technology at this age. They have cell phones, laptops, whatever it may be. So make sure that you know the username and the passwords to these devices. This doesn't mean that you doesn't trust your teen. This just means that you are simply trying to keep them safe. And the last tip that I would give to parents and families is to loosen the ropes a little bit. I know that we want them to stay our little babies forever, but unfortunately, that's not the case. If your child proves to you that they can do something, then give them a little bit of independence. Let them explore, let them make decisions, and sometimes they won't always be the best, but they're learning. These are just a few tips for students and families that may be transitioning into middle school. I would encourage you to get together with your friends and talk about some of the things that you guys may be looking forward to going into middle school. What are some things you may be scared of? And just kind of share opinions and thoughts. As usual, make sure that you're taking care of yourself and using your time wisely. See you next time.